Hello, friends, and welcome to the Boot Room, the show where we look ahead to Ipswich Town's weekend game. And this weekend, it's a spicy one. Town at a fellow League One big boy, Portsmouth. There's so much to talk about, so let's get into it. My name is Mark Heath. With me to break down the game as ever is Andy Warren. And Andy, what for you are the talking points heading into this game?
Tale of two managers in this one. For me, you've got Paul Cook, former Portsmouth manager, the man that won League Two for them and set them on a bit of an upward trajectory, going back to his former club. Relations not always good there due to his exit. He's put the record straight a little bit on that today. But then in the opposite dugout is Danny Cowley, a man who has had Ipswich Town's number in the past, dumped them out of the FA Cup with Lincoln. He's got ties to Suffolk, ties to Ipswich, and it's felt at times like he was destined to be an Ipswich manager at some point. Some interest at both of the last two times that job's been vacant. It hasn't happened. He's there for the end of the season at Portsmouth, and both of these teams looking to clamber back into the playoff places. So two new managers going head to head. They know each other well, and it should be a really interesting one on the touchline.
Absolutely. Obviously, the big question, Hutchie, is what Paul Cook does with his team on his return to Pompey. Town had a dreadful performance at Fleetwood, losing 2-0 in midweek. We had some really good team news this morning from Mr. Cook at the press conference, the return of a player we've all been waiting for a long time. So bring us up to speed, and also let us know what you think the team will look like tomorrow.
Kane Vincent-Young is back in a match day 18 for a competitive game for the first time in 17 months. It's mad how long he's been on the sidelines. He's going to be on the bench this weekend. I'll be honest, maybe a handful of minutes at the end, if anything, in this game. But the fact that he's back in the picture at all is a real positive for Ipswich. They've missed that kind of dynamic fullback. So he'll be on the bench. James Norwood is back as well. He's missed the last two with a combination of back spasms and then a court appearance that kept him out of the Fleetwood game. I'd expect James to come straight back into the side up top. The rest of the side, I can see Paul Cook keeping a back five of Thomas Holy, Luke Chambers, Toto Nsiala, James Wilson and Miles Kenlock. I think Cole Skews could dip out of this one. He played 80 minutes at Fleetwood. That's an awful lot for a player who's been out for 6 months himself. I could see Teddy Bishop coming in alongside Andre Dazelle there. I think Troy Parrott deserves another go in that number 10 role. The game on Tuesday just didn't suit him. It bypassed him. Ipswich were playing long balls over the top for Caden Jackson. He just couldn't get a kick. I'm hoping that Gwion Edwards is fit to go again after limping off in that game. If he is, I think he'll start. And I think we could see maybe Jack Lancaster coming back in to this side on one of the wings. If Edwards isn't fit to go, I think Keenan Bennett might be the man, but hopefully it's Gwion Edwards.
There you go then. That's what Andy thinks Paul Cook is going to do with the team. Time will tell, of course. The big question, the $1 million question, Hutchie, every week, score prediction. I've got a bad feeling about this. Coming off the back of that terrible performance in midweek, new manager bounce at Pompey, obviously a fellow League One big boy. I think a draw would be a fantastic result for Town if they can get it, but I'm afraid I'm predicting a defeat. I can see them going down 1-0 at Pompey tomorrow. Tell me you think differently.
I think slightly differently, not crazy differently. I think they could get a draw from this game. I don't think Ipswich can be that bad again. They were woeful at Fleetwood on Tuesday. They can't be that bad again. I don't think Paul Cook would let them be that bad again. And I'd hope that most of these players wouldn't let themselves be that bad again. The Cowleys have had one training session, as I understand it, with Portsmouth. So I think their impact is going to be limited on this team, although you never know. There's the famous new manager bounce that Ipswich have missed out on. They might get that. But I could see Ipswich getting a point from a 1-1 draw from this.
Okay, there you go. So Hutchie's a bit more optimistic than me. He's saying 1-1. I'm saying 1-0 defeat for Town. Hopefully not for the first time. I'll be proved wrong. Enjoy the game if you're watching it. Follow it all with us in print and online, and speak to us again when we're back next week.